All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Oh, I realized that I need to adjust my positioning here. I'm a little bit too comfortable, I think.
For the love of the game said, do Try and Corey know we can hear them? I don't know how you could have heard us if that's true, because I just now I unmuted the mic, so how could they have been not muted? But regardless, that's right, Sandy. Good evening.
How's it going? I am a little yellow.
Yeah.
I'll try and fix that.
Hey, the bell works wonders.
From Gaming Blows.
According to Gaming Blows.
Well,
are we excited? The question is, are you excited?
I'm going to try and make myself less yellow.
I'm going to throw Sandy's Fox. This is her newest toy.
If that helps at all.
She likes it. You need to chase something. Would that entertain you?
Yeah. Still a little bright. Whatever. It is what it is. We'll see if I can fix it up.
She's had a habit on Sundays lately of like, I try to, entertain her and wear her out before the stream. And then she's just like, nah, I don't feel like playing. And then stream starts and it's like, oh, I want to play.
Now I'm blown out. I really need
Oh,
to
actually,
mess
I think that looks pretty decent. A little.
Oh, now it looks good. Okay, now it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks
I need
good.
to find like a light setting that I can turn on every time I stream, and it just like looks good. That's what I want to do. I think it looks okay right now.
Well, I've seen a few people say this is one of their favorites on the NES. Some like it more than the first. I remember liking 1 and 2 about the same. I played them pretty close to each other. In fact, I might have even played them pretty much back to back, or maybe only like a week apart or something. This was like early in my backlogging days.
Mm-hmm.
So
you did not play these at all when they were new.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I knew anyone who had these back in the day. I got them when I got back into NES, like in the late 90s, so I got them at Funkoland when, these games are still cheap, luckily, except for Ninja Gaiden 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got them back then, but I never played far into them. So it was like early-ish backlogging days. I want to say most likely maybe like early 2007. It was definitely before we were streaming, because I have never streamed beating these games.
Well, this will be a first then.
Yeah. I mean, it's been I would say at least 13 years since I beat 1 and 2. It'll be interesting to see because, as I've said many times, like I believe 3 is actually the best one. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel this compares upon revisiting it. The reason I did 2 instead of 1, I've only done 1 and 2 once, but you said it'd been a long time since you'd seen the entirety of 2 and you didn't remember much about it, so.
Yeah, I don't remember very much at all about it. I mean, I think I finished it pretty close to the time that it came out as a rental. I mean, I always say my brother had an NES and I would rent games on it because I couldn't rent Master System games. So I'd always rent games for his NES, and this was one that I rented pretty quickly after release. We got 2 donations. We got $2 from Venezuela saying Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Heart all.
Have you been wearing your video game dad's shirt all day?
You know what? I didn't even mean to. You say that, but I mean, I don't know. We went out and got some coffee earlier today around where our old house was. It was kind of nice to walk over there because we wanted to see if they were doing any work on our old house.
Ah.
Like they'd done some painting on the outside, touching it up.
So did you walk the whole way to your old house?
No.
Oh,
We drove over there and parked.
Because I was gonna say I didn't think it was that close.
And we stopped at the record store, and I got my Father's Day gift was this record that I wanted from the record store that I've been slowly putting money on for the past year.
Oh, really?
It was an expensive record. I mean, it's $129. So
like an old record?
1996.
But used.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But in very good condition. I mean, it's one of the ones that I really wanted because it's one of my favorite albums, and that is it was REM's New Adventures in Hi-Fi.
Have you listened to it?
I have not listened to it yet. But they got a copy in last April, and I really wanted it. And since I knew them pretty well, since they were right around the corner from my old house, so we'd go over there all the time. It's a record store with a coffee shop in there. And they said, how about if we just like hold on to it and you can just come in and put money on it, like whenever you feel like it. So I mean, every time I'd go in there, I just put whatever extra cash I had in my pocket.
Mm.
And recently, I put a pair of shorts on that I haven't worn since last summer, obviously. And I found $30 in the back pocket.
You're lucky they
they
didn't get
been washed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 20, a 5, and 5 ones in the back pocket.
I've been looking for a flash drive that I suspect ended up in the wash at some point.
Ah.
I cannot find it.
So it turned out that I had already had $70 down on the record, and with this 30, I could put down towards it, and then it was just like $37 after tax to get it. And now I find it took a year, slowly buying it, but it was worth it.
How much did you have to put on it today?
$37.
So only $7 more than.
No, $37. I mean, I had. This should be showing at 60 frames per second. It should have unless you're watching on a smart TV, it doesn't support 60 frames.
Yeah, I mean, can you see the shadow blinking? I can see it in OBS blinking.
It's showing at 60.
In case anyone's wondering, I'm playing on the high-def NES. But in OBS, I'm cheating with the aspect ratio to make it fit the because you can't do interpolation with the high def NES. So I have 4x and 5x, and it's so I corrected the aspect ratio for the stream.
Right.
This is like visually one of the most iconic Ninja Gaiden levels, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean this level is. I mean, there's a lot of really cool effects in this game. It's amazing how much better of a looking game it is than the first one.
Oh yeah. This music.
Not that the first one was bad, like that looked bad, but this one just has like the whatever they're doing for the parallax right there, and then plus right here with the wind and everything, it's such a cool.
Yeah. The music in this level right now, like the second part of this level in the mountains, I think is maybe the best music in the series.
Oh. We also had a $1.99 from our good friend Sean Quinn.
Oh.
It says, love the shirt, Corey.
Oops.
And it's funny because it's like what we just talked about, which launched us into the whole the whole thing about the Father's Day present. But thank you.
I like the very subtle color rotation on the.
Yeah, that was
HUD.
when this first came out and first playing it. That was one of the things that I did not like about it.
Really? Like you actively were like.
I thought it felt like really tacky. I think at the time.
It's kind of awesome though.
No, it totally is awesome. So it only changes when you take damage.
No, it's slowly going
goes
through a
faster when you take
rainbow of.
damage.
I think that's correct.
And that's something I never noticed.
But it just very slowly goes through like very soft colors.
Yeah. But I remember at the time thinking that it felt silly.
I mean, it
But
is.
now, but you're right. Like
But it is.
now, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I hope everyone enjoyed the sharp scale video.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry it was not out earlier, but it was. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. In general, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that probably could have.
It almost
in there.
it almost starts off feeling like a 200 on the PSP.
I know, and like, yes, I mean, I definitely thought about that, and there was a point during it where I was like, should I just make this a 200? It was in consideration. It was in play for probably an evening. But then I thought there's a lot of stuff that I do not have that would postpone it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I've got basically everything that would be needed for that, but like that's an episode we want to do together.
Right, and wait until Sharp Scale is completely like finished.
Yes.
I guess.
And we also need to check out like I know there's like a thing about playing PSP games on PS3 with like custom firmware. I don't know really anything about that.
Yeah, it's funny though. Like that same day that morning, you had watched it previously, but that last day that morning you said, "Do we know if PSP is on the Vita is emulation or if there's like a mixture?" And it turns out that it is a mixture.
I mean, as best as we can
so we ended up
tell.
removing some of the wording because I always assumed it was just straight up emulation, but it is not. So we like reworded a couple of little lines where I removed the word emulation and just said backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Instead. Because I just assumed that it was, and I didn't even think to question it. And that's one of the things that I feel is a big part of having two people that work on the show. Mm-hmm. Is that there's always the other person can call something out and be like, do we know this for sure? And it's something that I would never even thought of. And then that would have been a huge error.
Well, like likewise, something that neither of us caught was, and this is a mistake we've made before, and there were like I don't think this comment has happened like after the first hour, but like in the first hour there were a few nitpicky people complain about you saying that, you know, double resolution or half resolution when it's technically a 2x scale for PSP to Vita. But
well,
it's
a 2x scale.
Right. It's a 2x scale, but like if you say the screen is double the resolution, technically it's 4 times as many pixels. But let me ask you a question. Do you know how many pixels are on the Vita screen? Or how many pixels are on the PSP screen? No one knows that, like off the top of their head.
Right.
But you know it's a 2x scale.
Sure
no one cares about how many pixels exactly it is. You care about 2x in one direction and 2x in the other direction. It's a very easy thing to word incorrectly, and I I was not on the lookout for it. The only, the easy way to remember it is I have heard people refer to the Vita's resolution. People sometimes would just refer to that as quarter HD because it's like one quarter of 1080p, half, double scale to get to 1080p. But you know what I mean? So that's the easiest way to remember. If you just think of Vita is quarter HD, that's an easy way to remember it.
Well, even still, I mean, that's not something that I would have normally thought of, just because you said we always think of it as a scale.
Right. I don't care how many actual millions of pixels you have. All I care about is what was the scale that you took to get there, and can you do that without any, unevenly scaled weirdness. That's all I care about.
Well, I mean, I know like the resolution of it, but yeah, I mean.
Well, my point is, no one cares literally how many pixels are on the screen.
Right.
That's the 4 times number, but no one cares about that number. And I wish I had the upwards magic.
And there's a lot of stuff that I did not get into. I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, what is it like compared to Adrenaline? Like the different filters that they had built into there. And that's something I thought about at one time of doing, but I was like, I need to get this done, and just, that's stuff I can look into at another time. And that, it just felt like it was kind of outside of the realm of what I wanted to get into. And it's already 25 minutes. There's somebody today is like this thing is way too long for what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy that it came out the way it did. I mean, I just like the plug-in itself. I mean, it's amazing. And as I said in the video, it's a real game changer for the system.
Jeez, that took a lot longer.
This guy is like surprisingly difficult every time I've gone back to this. I don't remember this game being that hard.
Like I said, at the time, I considered it like equally difficult. I felt like it was designed more difficult than the first, whereas I felt the first was difficult because of like technical issues, like, constant respawning at the edge of the screen and stuff like that. Whereas Ninja Gaiden 3 is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful level design.
Yeah.
Did I get angry? I don't think I was angry.
You're just getting riled up about it.
I was just like, geez, it took a long time. It took longer than I expected. It was just a long
time. We got a $2 donation from MK Iron Fist saying Voltar's back.
He's back! I was wondering, did you intend...
I sent him that it has I swear, and I beeped it out. I sent like 3 different versions.
I sent him 3 takes, and at first I was surprised that he picked the take that he did.
Really?
Yeah, but then the way he edited it in, I understood why. But there was another where I was getting more into it. I was like, Voltar's back! Oh, woof, that's right, Sandy. Voltar's back. Did I get you confused? On the last take, though, the one that he didn't choose, Sandy was visibly what are you doing?
We also got a $2 donation from Henry Clark saying, was Sandy excited that Voltar's back?
She was just very confused.
Yeah. She's like, who? Who?
I like Joe. He's like, oh yeah, I totally knew he was gone because I definitely subscribed and rang that notification bell.
So this has me thinking this level.
Why can't I?
Yeah, like it's 2 levels in a row here that are, in a way, kind of like a gimmick level. Can you make a running jump for it?
I don't think running does anything for you in this game.
What do the blue jars even do? Are they just points?
They're either health or magic recovery. Like that bag I just picked up, I think is points. But I think jars are... I want to say jars are health. I just picked one up and I didn't pay attention, so tell me when you see it what it did.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything gives you health back.
Really? Are you sure? Because
Oh, that jar did, I think. I was talking more about the bigger jars.
Oh, I think that's more like a bag of, like, treasure.
Oh. Oh, they removed this level in Ninja Gaiden Trilogy?
Really?
Or they removed the flashing, I guess. Oh, the bags are points. So they are, I guess, the bags.
I've actually been quite surprised how much damage I can take.
Because you can take such little damage in 3, right?
Yeah. See, it seems like you can't, like, get up from that way for some reason.
But, I mean, hopefully that episode being out is going to be, like, lead to some pretty rapid fire episodes from us, I'm hoping.
Yeah, Analog Frontiers is coming along very well. I would say...
I mean, you kind of feel like it's going to be done. Like, if everything goes according to plan, there's a very real chance that it could release, like, next weekend.
I don't think it's going to release next weekend. Like, I think I'll get it. I think I'll be virtually done by then. But, like, I might need a day or two to do any finishing touches. So, but I think, like, it's going to be finished by, like, the last day of June. I'm very confident in that, for sure.
Okay.
In terms of when it releases, I'm not positive yet, but...
Well, I think that it's going to release pretty close to when.
Yeah. But
I mean, the reason being is that I have an Evercade video that I'm working on that it's like so far past the point of being interesting at this point that I want to release that and Analog Frontiers pretty close to each other if we can. And the idea is that is kind of sandwiched in between videos that I think that our audience is like actually interested in at this point.
Right, because after that, before I really go all in on Analog Frontiers 3, I'm going to do a video on Game Boy Color and GBA IPS screens, which I'm hopefully later this week going to actually put together the Game Boy one. And the screens I ordered for color in advance finally shipped. It took a long time, but
yeah,
they should be here tomorrow. Although I don't have spare systems to use for those, so after I finish Analog Frontiers 2, sometime I might go pick up. Might go pick up a spare of each of those. I mean, I guess I kind of have a spare GBA, but it's in pretty nice shape, so I don't really want to use it for that. See, one of the best things about Ninja Gaiden 3 is no matter how many times you walk back and forth in a room, no enemy will respawn. I mean, every single enemy that they place in that game is extraordinarily intentional. I mean, it is so good. It is so good.
But I mean, if all that stuff happens, you know, all these videos, I mean, I think we're gonna be in a pretty good groove.
Yeah.
For a while, of like constant
regular stuff people really want to see.
Yes.
What? I didn't even see that guy coming from behind me.
It's exciting to think about. We got a $2 donation from Mitch B saying, "Have a beer on me for Father's Day." You know, I gotta tell you, I had some drinks last night for the first time in like months, and it was fun. In at the time, it was not fun today. Waking up, I mean, I had heartburn during the night and everything from it. But thank you. I mean, I'll save it for next time I do have a drink. we got $10 from Craig Wan. Thank you. This is after playing lots of video game soundtracks, I gotta know what song from games you've played get you hyped up. Mine's right now is "Don't Drop Me" by Ann Sinclair from Sega Touring Car Championship.
Well, you just now saying that reminds me of something that I actually was thinking earlier this week, like, oh, I'm going to stream that Sunday, and then I completely forgot until just now, but I recorded last week a clip from Shovel Knight for Analog Frontiers Part 2, you know, talking about, you know, modern retro aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, I forgot how much that level 1 music gets me hyped up. I mean, it's good. But I was playing Trying the King of Cards story. Like, I mean, you know, just playing level 1. And it was, he's pretty fun to control. Yeah. So I was like...
I have not played any of the expansions for that.
I've only played Plague Knight.
That might be a fun stream.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to remember to do that next time, because I did mean to do that, and I completely forgot.
We should really do that video, the 30 songs. I mean, I think that'd be like really fun to do, and like an easy. It'd be a fun ad lib to do. For me, I mean, like I always said it since our favorite first stage music, it's definitely got to be the first stage from Midnight Resistance. Really gets me going. But I'm sure there's plenty more. I don't know. I really like Big Blue from F-Zero. I mean, obviously. So, one of my favorites, I guess, is one that really gets me is like the Space Armada from Star Fox. That's stage 3 of the normal or the easy route. I love Space Armada, and I was so happy that song got a version of Smash when it did. We got a $4.99 from Daniel Alexander. Thank you. It says, any chance you guys will stream Cybernator or Blackthorn this year? Looking forward to Analog Frontiers Part 2 and the new studio tour. Cybernator is something I'd be interested in streaming Cybernator.
Yeah, I mean, we both love that game. I've only beaten it. I might have beaten it twice.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to see us do that 30 songs, and I think that'd be really fun. And I think it'd be really fun to not share our lists with each other.
And just do it as an ad lib?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking we do.
Okay.
I mean, we could probably make the list in an evening and shoot it the next day. And I have no problem just going through and capturing all the clips that are needed for it. Oh yeah. Make playlists somewhere after the video. Like we could make playlists right here on YouTube probably. I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be really fun and not hard to do at all. And it'd be a good way to take a break from editing Analog Frontiers in the afternoon.
Sure.
Game's all about the big spiders, isn't it?
And the hawks, as always.
Yeah. I'm probably in the minority, and I feel that I like Streets of Rage 1 music more than I like Streets of Rage 2. Is that do you die, or is that just
I die.
Are you aghast of what I
Well,
just said?
I mean, the thing is, like, I've played a lot more Streets of Rage 2 than 3.
Yeah.
So it's just my exposure to the music is much greater, so I know it better, you know?
Yeah. I think that'd be really fun to do. It just gives us time to talk about different soundtracks and stuff that we like. Yeah, I mean, Streets of Rage 2, the music is great, but I just like the music in the first one more. So I'll link you to the list, and we'll start putting it together. I feel like something like that would take a lot less work than like a game-focused ad lib, because it doesn't really require any B-roll at all.
Yeah, just G-roll.
That's okay. I mean, because I can archive all that stuff and save it, you know?
Oh,
Warren
come
Horse
on.
says, can't thank you guys enough for these streams. It's part of my routine and really helps me get ready for the week. You both rock. Thank you. I mean, I like the idea of having a Sunday night thing to do.
It's
It's
how you come to terms with the idea that, okay, the weekend's over.
Well, when I was younger, and I don't know exactly when this stopped happening, but I would always like it on Sundays. There would always be like a movie on TV. They have like a Sunday night movie, and it'd be just like a not just like produced by the network or anything like that, but it'd be maybe like a big movie or something like that. And it'd always be on it'd be on from 9 to 11 Sunday nights. Good way to end the week, or start the week rather. Yeah, the ABC Sunday Night Movie.
Whew.
I know. I know. I almost did Sharp Scale last week, but I should have. I mean, I think next week we've been talking about things that we feel are crowd pleasers, and you hadn't played this in a long time, so that's where this came from. And I think next week, I think I'm gonna play Yoshi's Island.
Because you've never beaten the Super Nintendo version.
No, I've only finished the Game Boy Advance version.
That's wild. But you know, the Game Boy Advance version gets a lot of hate that I think is maybe a little undeserved. I mean, I think it's a pretty good port. I mean, I don't know. I would say it's probably the best of the Mario Advance games. I mean,
really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Mario 3 one is okay. I mean, it's got some interesting features, but it's got some new levels and stuff. Like it has its value, I think.
Yeah.
And the difference, I'll put you all the way back here. Like I think that the reason the GBA version gets so much flack is because Nintendo kept re-releasing that version and not the Super Nintendo version until the NES Classic.
Right.
Or SNES Classic.
They always acted like these other systems couldn't handle it. Like Virtual Console couldn't.
Oh, they couldn't. It couldn't. Like they didn't do Super FX. At all.
But I mean, I don't anticipate I'm finishing it during the stream. But who knows? Maybe I'll surprise myself.
I was thinking about playing it myself this week, but like I've lost saves on that cart and the battery hasn't been replaced, so it was kind of like, well, if I'm going to put the time into it, I'd like for the saves to stick. Man, this guy has like high defense or something.
It's so interesting that the Red Ninjas are arguably like the defining aspect of the game, and then they don't appear in the third one at all.
Yeah, I don't think they're. Man, Drum and I both played Ninja Spirit on last Backloggery stream, and we both really enjoyed it. And the way that the Shadow Ninjas work in that game is so much better than this, in my opinion. Like they just that game has a really good feel to it.
Yeah, and you finished the PC Engine version.
Yeah, Drum almost finished the arcade version, and
that's different because it's one-hit death.
Correct.
And it's very easy to get overpowered in that game.
He had to finish it the next day, though.
Oh, okay. Gaming Blows just donated $2 and said, "Just beat Wii Punch Out. Hated it. Your thoughts?"
Really?
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot too, but I mean, you know, I played it when it was new. I don't know if I'd have a different opinion now, but I liked it. You know, I can't remember. I might have even beaten the game with motion controls. I forget.
I can't imagine that.
I mean, I just wanted to do it, you know?
I love the animation in it is so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a rehash.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there had not been a Punch-Out game in so long, so... I mean, the music is also really good.
Yeah. He says that the telegraphing of moves is a guessing game.
I don't know if I
mean, I didn't feel it is that
case.
different from the.
Yeah, I mean, they probably added some more, you know, elements to throw you off a bit, but I don't remember it being unlearnable. I mean, I remember liking it just about as well as any of the other Punch-Out games.
Oh, I forgot that Donkey Kong was in it.
Oh, I forgot that too. Whew. That took a while.
Donkey Kong let you fight him.
Donkey Kong let you fight.
Warren Hokie is asking, any disadvantage to just using a Wii with component cables for GameCube? Other games, other than no Game Boy player. Trying to decide if I needed to buy a Game GC Video dongle or not.
I mean, it is a little softer on the Wii. Although, later Wii consoles are pretty close, I want to say. Go back and look at the GameCube HDMI updates video or whatever the heck we called it. There's a comparison using Soul Calibur 2 that I think, and maybe another with Smash Brothers that shows like the difference between old Wii consoles, later Wii consoles, and then GameCube component cables and stuff. Like, if you're not making a direct comparison, you might not notice. I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, I'm big Nintendo fanboy. We all know this. Nintendo has always been the most important of the consoles to me. But the hype over GameCube mystifies me a little.
I guess.
And
now GameCube is like really big.
Yeah, I mean, GameCube, during the GameCube generation, I owned more GameCube games than PS2 games. That is very much not true anymore. But I guess when I say that it mystifies me a little bit, it's in part that I do agree with the assessment of, oh, just play on a Wii. I mean, I don't, because I've got like a bazillion consoles and duplicates of consoles and a bazillion ways to hook them up. And because I do know that using a GameCube is better quality than a Wii, I do use it. But the fact that there is so much demand for this stuff, I mean, I would not have foreseen it. But, I mean, obviously I love that there are all these options out there. And what really impresses me is that the stuff like the Insurrection component cables are actually better than the official ones. Like, there are sort of these, I would call them subsampling artifacts. I don't know if that's really what's going on, but they're like, just the quality is just, there are some slight visual issues with the original component cables. So, like, I mean, people have done some crazy impressive stuff. And I take huge advantage of it. But it surprises me that there are as many people as there are that also want that stuff. Because I agree. You would think most people would just play on Wii. Like, is that a sign of just like how disliked the Wii is in like the gaming scene? Like, I don't know.
No, I think it's more that, I mean, someone just said that the GameCube game prices are going up so much because there's so many Wii systems out there.
That could be true.
So, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people using them to play the Wii game.
Yeah, and people,
right, and not only that, but I mean, people that were
kids.
Kids at the time. I mean, the GameCube is 19 years old now.
Jeez.
Right?
And two, a lot of people probably played a lot of GameCube games on the Wii. So, I mean, that you're covering an even wider spectrum there. But, I mean, the GameCube was my college system. You know, that and PS2. So, like for me, maybe it just wasn't as much of an impact. Like, I've said it again and again. Like, I guess the Wii U probably now that enough time has passed and a lot of stuff has gotten ported to the Switch, I would say the Wii U is probably Nintendo's least essential system. But like up until recently though, that's how I felt about GameCube. Like I like it, don't get me wrong. You know, Metroid Prime is probably my favorite Metroid game. Wind Waker is excellent. But like the 3D Mario game is the weakest 3D Mario game. It's interesting. I think I still like it. Like I don't know. Like I like the Wii better than the GameCube. That's just me. But you know.
Cheryl Tan is saying, "Can I do my performance in the Voltar's back video is some of the best dramatic acting I've ever seen." Thanks. I don't think that I don't think that you're being serious.
He's back. I couldn't tell if like you intended for that to be like just pick one of these because you say like 3 things in there.
No, that was just one.
Oh, okay. What I was originally envisioning doing for mine, like I was trying to think of a game where, you know, a character would be like, he's back. And I feel like it's gotta be something someone says in the video game at some point, and I just could not think of it. And so I was like envisioning that I would like have that playing on a CRT in the background. I would like move my mouth along with the line, but I just couldn't think of what to use.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it too.
I was thinking like there'd be like a easily accessible Metal Gear thing since he does such a good Solid Snake. I couldn't think of it. Oh, dang it.
So GameCube Twilight Princess is expensive. Right?
Yeah,
Is the Wii U version expensive, I wonder?
I don't know. Probably not yet.
I'm surprised. The GameCube version, I guess, is the true version.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got a Wii at launch, so I got Twilight Princess on Wii.
Is it really? How expensive is it? People are saying it's so expensive.
Well, I was given a Twilight Princess GameCube case. I just need to complete with a disc. And I haven't really looked into it yet. But I'd like to do that someday if it's not like ridiculous.
Oh, it's like $80 complete in box.
I wonder what disc only goes for. But you know,
so here it goes for $60.
I mean, I would play the HD version next time I play that, most likely.
Oh, I would definitely too.
I mean, it's a game that wants to be an HD game, you know?
Yeah. We got a $4.99 donation from Saner 80
Thank you.
saying strap on Voltar's back. I like that basically all of the comment or all the donations have been saying like Voltar's back.
Well, it was a coincidence that our videos released at a pretty close to each other. Yeah, and people were just like, "Oh my gosh, Voltar and MLiG in one day." And you will get to see some. Voltar has generously given me some selects from his work to use in Analog Frontiers Part 2.
And he's an interview.
He is an interview in it. He is featured substantially.
He was the first person we interviewed.
He was the first interview for Analog Frontiers. This looks like it should be super easy if I don't.
If you just get one of those ninjas up there.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. I've only got one though.
Well, there he is.
Probably not possible with. Can you attack the hand? I don't think so.
He does not say sit back and strap on. At least as far as I know.
This might work. Oh!
Did you run out of time? Oh yeah, someone said watch the timer.
Oh, well. That wasn't what killed me.
We got a $9.99 donation from Bill Russell.
Thank you.
It says, now I want to dig out my Wii stuff. Any input on which is better for Wii games, Wii plus component, RetroTink 2X Pro, or Wii U plus HDMI? Display is LG OLED CX.
The RetroTink wouldn't be great for the Wii because you wouldn't be able to use 480p.
I mean, at that point, if you're using the Wii, I would just go and I just plug directly into that TV.
Yeah, I would too.
You don't want to get anything for it.
Right, assuming you have a component input on the TV. I would. I mean, in that case, I would go for an OSSC. I mean, they aren't that expensive. I mean, compared to a RetroTink at this point. Because, Wii you can do 480p 2x to 960p, which looks quite nice.
Mm-hmm. We got $3.99 from Daniel Alexander. Thank you. He says, will 8K be the ultimate retro gaming resolution? I don't even know what the exact resolution of 8K is.
Oh, I just figured this. Oh, come on, you go ahead of the next hand. Oh, this is easy.
Oh, so 8K is a 7,680 by 4,320.
I was so proud of myself when I finally learned 4K is 3840 by 2160 without having to look it up every time.
It's tough. It is tough when you're.
I mean, it's second nature now, but it took me a long time to get that down.
I'm one of the things I like to think about in games when I see bosses is like, what are they doing? Like, before you get there, like, you think this thing is just sitting here, just like puking out this water all day long, every day. Like that's just.
Well, I mean, I remember when I was a kid. I mean, this is what's in some ways so surprising about why I didn't get into Mario Maker until the second game. Because, like, I've gotten so, you know, I'm older, you know, user-generated content is not as exciting to me today. But when I was a kid, you know, I would draw my own Mario levels all the time. And I always, like, envisioned, like, a game where you were the Koopalings. And you, like, built your castle. And you would, like, just like Mario Maker, like, you would have to get to the end, like you would want it to be difficult, but you would have to get to the end of your castle because you have to get to the boss room, right? So it's kind of like Mario. My idea was kind of like Mario Maker, where you are not allowed to make a level that you cannot beat. You know, you can't upload it,
right?
Because you have to prove that you can finish it first.
Warren Ogie says, my favorite is like in Tomb Raider, when you go into a tomb, it hasn't been open for thousands of years, and it has live animals and a T-Rex. And like, how? Well,
that's your favorite
what? At that point. What?
What's that his favorite? Favorite what?
Well, I mean, like, what is, like...
Oh, like wondering about the bosses.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening when you're not... Like, what happened before and after? Or what has happened before you even get to where you're fighting the boss, or you're fighting some certain enemy?
Yeah. I
mean, you think these guys right here that are running, you think they just sit there all day long waiting for a ninja to come along?
I mean, aren't they just like... Aren't they just like demons or something?
Yeah.
I mean, they probably don't really do anything. You know, they probably don't need to, like, have reading material to entertain them or something, you know?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. Hang on.
Is this a checkpoint without a boss? Man, haven't played Chrono Cross in a while. Neither have I. I want to replay it sometime.
Same here.
I mean, I've played through it a few times. Like, I actually started it immediately after finishing it. You know, because you can have different people join you and things like that. Or a few branching paths.
So I guess I should I can unbox this, I guess, on the stream.
Oh, what do you got?
So I had this package. I can hold it up here. I got this. This showed up from Bob from Retro RGB.
Ah.
Really quick though, I will say that we got a $4.99 donation from Joshua Helman. Thank you. Saying, you know that they're making 16K TVs now? The resolution is so clear you actually see into the future.
Whoa. I mean, a lot of times, like, they just make something for CES as, like, a proof of concept.
Right.
But, like, it's not something that's going to be manufactured into a product yet.
Indeed.
I mean, maybe they might sell one for, like, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to, like, you know, the lobby of some big company or something. But
that's right. So is there any guesses on what they think this package is?
I think I know what it is.
You probably know what it is.
Brian North, isn't the price of OSSC from Video Game Perfection like about that too? I mean,
It's all it is. It's just power supply. It's not a big package. It's this big. Anybody guessing what it is yet?
I mean, I think there's almost no way anyone would guess what it is.
It's like Okuo got it correctly.
Oh, you gotta be kidding. I was right there.
It's one of those modded GBS 8200.
And you say you shot the process of that, I think, right?
Right.
And I've got an unmodded one, which was the one that you used way
GBS
back
Control, that's right.
for that old Frame Meister's Alternative video.
Right, right. So I don't even know what to expect. People are saying that it has basically, like, it solves the Chrono Cross with real hardware.
I mean, that makes sense, but at the same time, you're outputting VGA, so of course it does. The question then is if there's a hitch if you convert that to HDMI, then, you know?
Yeah, but the thing that I'm most interested in is that you can downscale.
Oh yeah, so
Right.
you could like have
You can go
240p.
from, like, 40i to 240p. Yeah,
Ah,
and that's
kind of a
probably the
big
part
deal.
that excites me the most.
Yeah. I mean that would make like those Metal Slug collections on PS2 like really great.
Well, I mean, it'd make it decent. They're still filtered.
Ah.
So,
Like, there's a
interested.
lot of collections on PS2, though, that would have potential. Oh, we got $1.99 from Daniel Alexander asking any rumors of 4K Frame Meister. We know nothing. Like, the last we heard from, you know, someone who had an inside line that, you know, they had been working on something, but what we also know about Micomsoft is like,
they don't want to do it anymore.
well, Micomsoft does, but like the parent company,
Right.
like maybe had a perspective that, you know, even though the FrameMeister sold well, engineering was pretty high costs. So, it's hard to say. Like, I don't think a lot of the Western retro game scene developments have really had a major impact in Japan. So I don't know if like OSSC is like popular at all or very well known there. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's just my impression.
What's this guy's name with the sunglasses? Does he have a name?
Oh, I forget. Robert.
Robert. I just imagine that, like, that's what he looks like all the time. Like, I wonder, like...
He's the first Wesker. The original Wesker.
Asher, is he the last boss of the game? I don't remember. Or is it, like, does the sword take over?
I forget if there's like, you know, some sort of other, you know, backstabbing villain or something like that. I think the coolest shot in the game is coming up. If I
Oh, you know, it's the whatchamacallit, the castle shots that they always do.
yeah, but it's like, you know,
well, they had to take it to the next level after the first one.
yeah.
We got a $2 donation from Jonathan saying, "Hey, Try, I just ordered the V3 IPS screen kit for my Game Boy DMG from Console 5. Looking forward to your Game Boy screen mod."
Yeah, well, me
Just
too,
Console
because
5.
I mean, I haven't done it yet, so I haven't even I haven't even seen it. So
Because I have a Game Boy, like a green Game Boy that I could probably put it in. Are they expensive? How much is the Game Boy one? Game Boy DMG one.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I decided to buy reproduction shells to see how I like them, just to not like cut into a real shell. I mean, I'm not necessarily totally opposed to cutting a real shell, but the thing was, like, I have a clear one, and I was kind of like, I don't want to cut a clear one, you know? An opaque one I could see cutting. I bought a reproduction red shell.
He said he ordered a V3. Is there a difference between the V2 and the V3?
I think so. But like, there's like, I think like Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance might only be up to V2.
Oh, I see. Here's Game Boy Color. So, I mean, maybe I would put one in my Game Boy Color instead, because the Game Boy Color, I put a McWill screen in my in a Game Boy Color, and it has like,
it's non-integer, isn't it?
No, I mean it's correct as far as I can tell, but it's I think it's like a wrong speed, so you get like that.
Oh, you get
like
screen tearing.
Yeah.
I don't know if this would change with the IPS screen or not, but you know, one thing about the Game Boy Color, it's a beautiful as far as unlit screens go. The Game Boy Color screen is top of the pile for sure. I mean, it's much better than the GBA screen. It's a nice screen, but it's smaller. It's smaller than an original Game Boy, which was something I think I thought about back when it came out, but then never thought about again. And I didn't really realize that again until more recent. I'm like, oh yeah, it's smaller.
So okay, so V3 is correct integer and no tearing. So that's for Game Boy.
Yeah, that's what John got, and that was when I was kind of talked into getting it. Because like people have been.
I mean, I could be talked into getting a Game Boy Advance one too, because I have the version that has a 101 screen in it. Like it's a Model 1 Game Boy Advance with a 101 screen in it. But I could go.
Okay, yeah, I actually don't have one of those, so that would be nice for the episode. Like, you know, it's funny because people have been asking about the IPS screens. I never read up about them or anything. I was just like, yeah. I don't know why, like, I was so hesitant to be interested until John showed me, you know, obviously over a webcam, but he showed me his. And I was just like, oh, why did I not really care about this before? I don't remember. Like, I was like, I want this.
I'll look into these. I mean, I didn't really think of it. Looks like there's a LCD or color backlit screen for the Neo Geo Pocket as well.
So here's the cool shot. I just love that castle in the windy path. I mean, it doesn't have like that, you know, horizontal motion, but still, that's.
I remember like the issue of EGM they had that on the.
Yeah, it's so cool. Now something that I don't know really much of anything about. There's some versions of these are branded with a name called Funny Playing, and on the Funny Playing website, like I don't really know who really developed quote unquote this mod. I don't know if they're responsible for it or what. The website that I bought the original Game Boy one from was called Handheld Legend, but they were out of some of the other. They had like Funny Plane branded and non-Funny Plane branded ones. And then I went to the Funny Plane website, and they showed like how like, oh, here's some issues with ones that, you know, are just copies of ours. So I don't know, like this is something I don't know a lot about. Like where did these mods come from? Like who really made them? Like, and you know, are some of these like stealing ideas from other people? I don't know much about what's going on in that regard.
Someone's saying there's a IPS for the Game Boy Pocket.
Yes, there is. That one I did not get.
Dude, that interests me more.
Well, then you should get that one. Why don't you get that one? Because then we could have all of them. If I'm not mistaken, I think Game Boy Pocket screen, I don't know. Again, I don't know about the IPS, but I think the actual screen is bigger than.
What would fit in it?
No, I think that the original screen is bigger than an original DMG screen. I
see. Can anybody in the chat specifically, whoever just mentioned the Game Boy Pocket version, can you let me know where to get it?
Oh, these guys, of course.
Neither of us have an N-Gage. Or a game.com. Or anything like
that. Yeah, you should get the Game Boy Pocket one because I opted to not buy that screen, but I bought the others. Now, something else to keep in mind, you should research, like there are some reproduction shells that may already, like I think you have to either use a Dremel or a utility knife to cut certain areas out of original cases or like just regular reproduction cases, but there are also other reproduction cases that are made for the IPS to fit into, but none of those were available, so I am going to have to modify the reproduction cases. And also I think some like replacement screens, like the lens or whatever you call it, the cover that goes over the actual screen, some of those I think might have a slightly larger viewing area, because I think John said, and to be honest, I haven't opened them yet because I didn't want them to get dusty until I was ready to put them together. Like I don't even know 100% for sure if I bought the right thing or not. But John said that like if you use an original screen, like you might lose just like, I don't even know if it would be an entire pixel, you know, around the edges. But I think there are some that maybe have a slightly larger view window that are better for the IPS screens. Okay, Eric in the chat saying GBA IPS is slightly larger, so you have to use the new glass screen.
I see.
So I don't even remember. I ordered at least one glass screen. I can't remember if the GBA one was available. I think it was. I think I ordered the glass ones for GBC and GBA. I can't even remember what I ordered at this point. I ordered a bunch of things. If it turns out we don't have something we need, then we can probably pretty quickly get something else.
Right.
Now, one thing I do know, like, if you want, is this the last level? I think this might be the last level. I know
where do you
that
think all that goop that's the green slime that's in the background. Where's it coming from? Does it just flow all day long? I mean, is it?
Probably. I mean, it might be seasonal.
Only shows up around Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like, or it's St. Patrick's Day. It's like the game takes place around St. Patrick's Day. Oh, we got Jeremy Johnson in the chat.
Oh,
hey. I still have to reply to your email. I apologize for I haven't gotten to it yet. Oh, I remember. Like, so Jacchio comes back in this. Jacchio.
Oh, is he the real final boss? I couldn't even remember.
I don't think so. I think he's just. Isn't he like zombie? He's like zombie Jacchio.
Yeah, that sounds a little familiar.
Did you always call? Did you call him Jacchio? Is that what you referred to him as?
Jacchio, probably.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I definitely called him Jaco.
Jaco.
Jacchio.
Jacchio. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I always called him that. But I mean, when I got into these games later, I mean, I was probably middle school or high school, so I probably knew how to say that by then.
Jake Woo. I mean, I could understand that too. Jaco. Oh, you know, Justin Deming says one of my favorite My Laughing Gaming episodes is to watch over and over again is the Wii Shop channel tribute. I mean, I guess it could possibly happen. I feel like there's a lot of stuff on there that probably has appeared elsewhere now at this point. I don't know. I've been tempted recently to hack my Wii U. So if that happens and it allows me to access some of these games, to do a video like that, then I might do it. So recently, I dug out my old copy of Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, just because a lot of people were talking about it, and I didn't really have any desire to go and play it. And what I did is I let my daughter play it.
Mm-hmm. In your town, did she make a? Oh, she made a character in your town.
Yeah, my old town. That like, I probably started like when she was born. So now she's like moves into it, and she is so into it.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean she likes Minecraft, and I said, I think that honestly you would probably like this more than Minecraft because it applies to her sensibilities. I think a little bit more. In Minecraft, she just likes to play on the the relaxing mode,
the create mode or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I said I just think that you'd probably like this more because it's relaxing and you just do all the stuff that she specifically likes to do.
Mm-hmm. Does she like fishing and catching bugs?
Yeah, well, she's only been doing it for a few days, but she's getting up early in the morning, and the first thing she's doing is seeing what new stuff is in the store. Stuff like that. And there must have been, because I bought the cartridge. I originally bought it digitally, and then there was a Welcome Amiibo version you could buy that had all this edition stuff that had been added since I played it. And there's a lot of stuff that's happening. Like they're adding like a layer to the store, and I thought that all that stuff had already.
Oh yeah, I've got a big fat 0 on OBS here.
Oh, it looks like it's back.
Okay.
The back?
Yeah, it just looks like it was a brief hiccup.
It's a original 2DS that she's playing. So it's not a new 3DS.
So I think 7.2 that I'm on now, I think this is a checkpoint, but if I die on the boss, I think I have to do 7.1 again.
Okay.
But if I defeat any one of the boss's forms,
They stay dead.
they stay dead. So.
So some chat, D-Rock, saying that they found a 007 James Bond VHS complete collection for $15.
Oh,
Should I
man.
send the link?
Yeah, a friend of
But
mine
she-
had that back in the day. I mean, you know, not like sold as a set, but like acquired over time.
Send a link to like either our email or to.
Oh wait, is this like something on eBay or something
I'm
that
assuming
you're
it-
saying like, hey, you should buy? Or I thought they meant like, oh, like I got it.
Maybe no, I think that it's an eBay link or something.
I would consider that.
You finally find the ultimate SCART switcher. I mean, I can't imagine any SCART switcher being better than the G-SCART at this point. I mean, I've not used the newer versions of the Hydra, so I'm not sure how it compares.
The only Bond VHS movies that I have are The World Is Not Enough and Tomorrow Never Dies, just because every thrift store has like at least 5 new copies of both of those. I usually, whenever I'm testing a VCR, I usually pop in one of those. Just because I know they were new copies, I'm like, well, they're probably... The tapes are probably good. Rule of Rose was always expensive. I mean, I don't think there was really much of a period of time where it wasn't expensive. I mean, it was a relatively late PS2 game, I think. You know, Japanese horror games that aren't Resident Evil, you know, I think it's easy to see. Or Silent Hill, even, you know, those, you know, probably low print numbers. I mean, of course, I think Silent Hill Shattered Memories is kind of expensive, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, is the Wii version considered the main version? Because I got that one at Goodwill and in like great condition for like $3.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that is considered like the main version. I don't know if it was really made for it, but I kind of think it was.
Oh, we got a
20 pounds. Wow.
20 pounds.
Thank you.
Thank you. From Katie Curtis saying, "Hi, MLiG. Thank you for helping me rediscover my love for retro gaming. Now here I am with a PVM and playing with SCART.
Oh no.
SCART cable. Your videos have been invaluable information on my journey. Keep doing what you do best. Thank you."
Oh, thank you. It must be weird, like seeing us be like, "Ooh, wow, SCART."
But I mean, those are some of my favorite comments to get. Is that when people say, "Oh, it's watching your show has reignited my love for retro gaming," and I think a big part of that is like people have realized like not only is it just fun to play the games, but it's also fun to kind of take a modern sensibility to them and like mess around with how they work a little bit too.
Well, that's kind of what Analog Frontiers is about. It's like, you know, how do we keep this stuff alive and relevant today? You know?
Right. But I mean, I love getting comments like that. So thank you very much for watching, and you know, I'm glad that you're back into it. Roots McGee says a local guy at my local retro store once sold me a loose copy of Sparkster, the Genesis, for $5. So it was just sitting on the counter, and he didn't feel like looking it up.
Yeah, to date, my only like really crazy like, oh, I did not pay anywhere close to what that is worth, was the Steel Battalion controller for
I knew you were gonna say it.
$15. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of where I got like that crazy of a deal.
I mean, for sure, the Goodwill deals are completely over at my Goodwill. I'm glad that I got in when I got in. I got some pretty good stuff there for a while, but it has been ages since I've seen anything. Although the main thing I'm looking for right now is, I wish I kept my old one, an old stereo receiver, because there is like 2 sets of speakers in this house, like in the living room and outside in the patio, that are wired up, and like the wires go through the wall and come out like basically where I would put it, so I could run music out into the backyard if I wanted to that way. But they're just speaker wires connecting the speakers, so I need like an amplifier.
Gosh, this room's really hard.
And I'm always looking for like the receiver at Goodwill. Like that's the main reason I go.
This room is ridiculous.
We will definitely be looking at the mode. I know that it's pretty close to release at this point. The mode is the multi-optical emulator, optical disc emulator. Works for the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast. I think the thing that I'm most dreading about that is having to pull it out and put it in different systems, like repeatedly.
Just for the episode, though, I mean, you're probably going to just keep it in one.
And eventually, Saturn, probably. And I'll send you the Phoebe.
Yeah, I'm in desperate need of an easy way to show more Saturn games.
Yeah.
I've got D and Astal and Analog Frontiers Part 2. But I asked you for some more things.
I just think a bunch of footage too.
Yeah.
Stuff.
But yeah, I just, on my own with Saturn stuff though, I'm a little helpless. Oh, this room is stupid.
That's stupid.
It's stupid. I mean, I don't really know anything about how the...
It's $44.79 complete box.
44
well,
for the
PlayStation 2 version is $152.
Oh.
Probably because it doesn't have any motion controls.
Well, I can handle motion controls. I am okay with motion controls.
Richard Morgan, I recently got the Japanese version of NBA Jam T, which is kind of a weird one to have. But I think that's basically the best version to have. I mean, the US Saturn version. Yeah, so I guess everything just goes to the Goodwill auction site. That's what everyone's saying. That's such a bummer. Like, I don't even find even sports games very much. Although, you know, I did have a. I mean, I don't know if anybody has Meyer. I think Meyer is getting rid of all of their video game stuff because they have a deal right now where you get 50% off of the clearance price. And I got to try a stack of games.
And you too.
And me too, yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that's on clearance at Best Buy that is much cheaper in the store than it is on the website. What did I get? I got Ace Combat 7 for $10 at Meyer. And what is it? Red Faction remastered.
Remastered?
It's so stupid.
It's kind of awesome though.
I think that was $7. I get the Mega Man X Legacy Collection for $7.
And funny enough, then you went to Half Price Books and got Ninja Gaiden 2, except not this Ninja Gaiden 2.
Right, because I got it just for backwards compatibility with the Xbox One.
But yeah, Xbox Ninja Gaiden 2.
Yeah.
The only modern Ninja Gaiden I've played is Ninja Gaiden Sigma, the PS3 version.
Yeah, that's the only one I played too, but I somehow have them all. Yeah, you should definitely check Meyer because they have, they just have a ton of games for clearance, and then you get half off the clearance price.
Yeah.
So I got you all that.
Bravely Second.
One more. I got you Bravely Second as well.
That was like how much was that one? Was that one?
That was $10.
That was 10.
So I got you all those, and I think the total was $37. What did I get for myself? I got.
Oh my gosh, I did not expect
that
to
one
get to
VR
this
game,
check.
like Blood and something. What is
Oh,
it?
Blood and Truth, I think.
Blood and Truth.
Yeah, was that the only one they had there? Because I'm kind of jealous of that.
I thought you got it.
No, I didn't. Was there another one?
That was the only one.
Ah, okay. No,
I only got it because you said that it's like the full game based on.
Well, it's like, yeah. I mean that one whatever it was called on the PlayStation VR Worlds, like that London gangster. Yeah. Like it's kind of making a full game out of that concept. But I thought that was just a lot of fun. Like, I mean, obviously imperfect, but a entertaining proof of concept.
Yeah.
No, I definitely want that.
I got the Mega Man X Legacy Collection for myself as well, and Crackdown 3 I got for $10. What did Tim Rogers call Crackdown 3?
Verticops.
If anybody hasn't watched Tim Rogers' 3-hour review of The Last of Us,
The original Last of Us.
Yes. I haven't finished the whole thing yet, but I highly recommend it. I think that he might be like my favorite YouTube personality right now, without a doubt. And I mean, and a lot of that comes from he's been around for a long time. You know, he's done a lot of stuff even since when he was doing actionbutton.net. There he he is. It's your boy Jackio.
Yeah.
You are alive. I mean, I'm not sure if Meyer is selling games anymore, but that is the impression that I got, because the one that was close to me, they've totally got rid of the entire game section. And they just have a couple of shelves that just say clearance on it. I see, just a reduced selection, not in glass cases. Neither of us have even bought Ori and the Will of the Wisps yet.
No.
I think that's like, I mean, at Best Buy, my Best Buy is $20 new now.
I do want to get it. And they still haven't done the physical Cuphead, have they?
No, I don't know why. They were waiting on DLC, right? I don't even know if that's
Yeah,
out.
I think it's out, but I don't.
Whoa,
I'm not sure.
my camera's all blurry. I thought I turned the autofocus off. Why is my camera blurry? That's weird. Hang on. Let me turn off my camera, turn off my autofocus.
Myers in Australia must be a different store. Assuming you're spelling MYER''S. I mean, Myers is not very widespread in the U.S. I mean, they aren't around where I am. They're mostly like, I think like Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky.
There we go.
I'd never heard of it until my parents lived in Michigan for a couple of years.
Uh-oh, you gotta you gotta turn off,
Oh, I have to.
I had to turn off my camera to get it to refocus. And now you can see, like, me in this tiny little corner of it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to screw you up. Oh, you can do it right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just had to make it full screen on. I always maximize it.
I see.
But I had to switch my TV input away from the game.
Right. I am in focus now. Kroger. First the blood saying, I'm working at Kroger right now. You know what my kids call it? Called Kroger's. Call it Croker.
Croker?
Croker. But he's not the final boss.
Alright, well, at least I got one form down. I'm pretty sure all the Ninja Gaiden games have 3 battles at the end.
So Ash Tower is like dead, right?
I think? I don't know. I haven't been reading the cutscenes at all. Oh man, look at that. It's pretty intense for American Nintendo. Back at the time. RetroTink 2X Pro for Dreamcast? I mean, not really. If you've got a way to use VGA, I would definitely do some form of VGA. But if you don't have really an easy way to do that, it would... I mean, if you were buying it primarily for Dreamcast, I would do something else. But if there are other things you could use with it, sure. But you would want a good S video capable for your Dreamcast if you were to do that. But I mean, even like the HD Retrovision cables that are coming out sometime, like you wouldn't be able to do 480p with them. And most Dreamcast games can do 480p, so since 480 you can't do 480p input on the RetroTink 2X or the Pro, probably not your first choice for Dreamcast.
Jeremy John says, my friend and I used to get to the first Jockey forum, which you smoked. You just smoked though. We bow to you. Now I gotta fight the sword.
So wait, that thing that so the thing in the background I think was that Jockey-O or was Ashtar? I don't know. Whatever it was, that first thing. I mean, I beat it on my first try, but I went in with pretty full health. Now I think I'm finding actual Jockey-O.
You. What's that from? The bad guys would have. Oh, it's from Tenchu, Stealth Assassins. When you get noticed, they'd be like, the guys would be like, "You."
Oh, wait, that didn't put me back at 7-1. I thought it would. Oh, that's right. Dying at all. Instead of continuing at the checkpoint closest to the boss. It put me back at 7-2. So I don't think getting a game over actually means anything different. But like, so in other words, if I had died before getting to the boss, I would be, you know, somewhere closer to the boss right now.
Could you make your own levels in Tenchu in the third one, or I've only really played all the way through the first one.
Make your own levels? What do you mean?
Yeah, I didn't.
What do you mean by like make levels? I don't know why that took a moment for my brain to process what make levels means.
Tenchu 2, you can make your own levels.
Is it like using like pre-existing environments and then you just like drop things in it or something?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a series that I know is going to be dated, but I still like have a desire to kind of try out.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I like the first one.
Yeah, I mean,
I love the narrator's voice in it specifically. I'm not sure if the narrator is in the third one, because I think the second one is made by a different team, so it's not as good. But we used to always do our impression of the narrator in the first one. He's like, Lord Goda.
Man, I was
It sent you to kill Echigoya.
I was shooting some stuff from Mega Man Legends 1 yesterday. And like, man, the narrator for the opening story before the title screen is so bad.
Hey, wait, in what?
In Mega Man Legends 1.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Like, it sounds like he's reading like a children's story or something. Which, I mean, to be fair, I mean, maybe that's considered the target audience for the game. I don't know. But, like, I think he's skewing even younger than what they would probably expect. Like,
Good Vibe Collecting says, by bad you mean good.
It's bad. I don't know if it's good bad. It's bad. He's like he goes through this list of like characteristics, like character traits. He's like charity, greed, who can really know what motivates the diggers?
Well, I mean, imagine reading that. Anyway. So I guess Alucard Quest says the narrator in Tenchu 1 is the same voice actor as Alucard in Symphony of the Night.
I'm interested
now that
in
you
this.
say that, that makes total sense.
We
when we went to a convention, we were in the booth right next to him.
we were. I don't think we ever talked to him. We should have.
And if that was the case, if I knew it's the same person, I would. They were advertising him being Alucard's voice actor. And if I knew that, though, I would say, like, can you just say Lord Goda or Echigoya? That's funny. I didn't even connect that, but I mean, it makes total sense because it's very, very.
It's Robbie something, right?
Robert Belgrade.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think we'll do a video on the whitelist hack. That doesn't really. I mean, it's kind of.
It's just
kind of outside of like the scope. I mean, I could see it being mentioned in something, but there's no way I would do like a video.
Yeah, I mean,
you just run it. It's like, oh, okay, you can play all games now.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the big downfalls, and I think someone had mentioned it in one of the comments recently, and I was hoping that something would exist like this, but it does not, because I was hoping there would be a way to use a real Vita with the PS TV as the controller, which would be pretty cool. You could play on your TV, but use it as like a separate screen, I guess, and you have your touch controls and everything. But I mean,
okay.
I can't see doing anything that's just the individual hacks like that. I mean, the Vita graphics thing would be kind of cool. Like, those are various hacks and stuff. So make the Vita work like the Wii U, kind of, I guess. I mean, it would be nice just to have be able to use the Vita as a controller, so you could use the touchscreen. But I think that there would have to be like lag and all this other stuff. It would introduce all kinds of lag, I'm sure.
There was one comment. It was like, the Vita TV is the Vita's, or the PlayStation TV is the Vita's Switch dock, but so much better and more useful than the stupid Switch dock. And I'm like, well, actually,
like,
you can continue playing the exact same system, so it's kind of more useful. Even though like, from a build quality perspective, like, the Switch dock is kind of a piece of junk, but...
Yeah, well, you know what I have to say? No, I say to that, and this is like the thing that
Just get my life's back.
is like it's not a competition.
No. But, I think some Vita fans may, in some ways, be bitter that the Switch has had more success. But at the same time, I hope that most Vita fans are, reasonable enough to, see which direction the wind blew and, have managed to get enjoyment out of the Switch. But, I can also see there being, possibly in a similar situation to how some people, don't like the Switch as much as the 3DS because it's not as portable, but...
Mm-hmm. We got a $5 donation from what is it? I'm borderline. Thank you. It says, hey guys, it's about a PVM 20M for you. Will all my consoles work with that? And RGB, even the modded ones. Well, a lot of consoles. I mean, I guess depending on what consoles you have, there's several that don't support RGB, but you'll be able to use the S-Video or composite.
Did they say even the modded ones? Like definitely the mod. I mean, like,
Right.
The thing is, like on an analog display, like a PVM, you know, you should just expect the systems to work. The question of will it work is more of a question of like stuff like the OSSC. You know, will it work with my digital display? But in that case, you're dealing with a purely analog world.
Right.
So. So I should definitely fall in the pit because you don't want to go into this boss fight with suboptimal health. I mean, there's no reason to, because you're not going to be able to try it again without going back to the beginning of the level. And this room
I
is
did not
really
try the other hack to be able to use USB, which I could see looking into. I mean, I didn't install it specifically for this video. I mean, I thought about it, but I was like, I don't really want to get into that whole aspect.
This video is about the sharp scale, and that's it. Really.
Right. I mean, that's the thing is like I got to be worried about constantly adding stuff to it, and at some point I just gotta say I gotta get this done because the thing I like to say is I need to just move on with my life, get it done, move on with.
No, I feel like if I just
Let's get the ninjas up there.
Is that possible?
Is there another form after this?
I think so.
This is just like...
Shouldn't be that hard. I was kind of getting careless and being like, can I just attack him and come out on top? There might be a little more finesse to it than that. Oh, I should just die anyway.
I'm gonna fill up my water. I will be right back, okay?
Well, this definitely does not put you as far back as Ninja Gaiden. Still mean, but I'm actually surprised that I've gotten this far by the end of the stream, honestly. I remember it taking pretty much a whole evening after work for me to beat both this and Ninja Gaiden 1. Like, not together, but, I mean, separately. I'm pretty sure I did them, like, a week apart. Or maybe even less. I've gotten better at that. I mean, this whole level is not that long. Getting back to the boss is not that bad. I think the health heal is only a half heal. I got this figured out. Don't get careless. I'm getting careless. I got so careless. Ugh. I had it figured out and then I just... Ugh. Started getting cocky. Now I'll probably die this next time. Won't be able to get in the same groove. I have to pay more attention to when the purple drop is coming. This stream is actually using high def NES, but like I said at the beginning of the stream, the actual output you're seeing on the stream is cheated a little bit because I adjusted the size so that it fits the PVM window, but of course you can't do an accurate aspect, a totally accurate aspect ratio on the high def NES without having non-integer scaling because it can't do interpolation. But it doesn't bother me that bad. It's not that wide.
So have you seen anything about how they're apparently supposed to be Crash Bandicoot 4 is supposed to get announced tomorrow?
No. I'm sure Naughty Dog is not doing it.
Mm-hmm. It's the same people who did the HD versions.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Wonder if they're up to it. Man, I am being really careless all of a sudden.
We got a $5 donation from Juan Diaz asking if we can. Says, hey guys, can you make a review of the VoxLink HDMI to HDMI 4K upscaler box? I am not familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. Although I would suspect, like, if this is a general consumer device,
It's gonna be for video.
It's gonna be for video. It's not really gonna be for games. So if it doesn't have like a nearest neighbor scale, I wouldn't expect it to be too useful for our purposes. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if in most cases it's no better than plugging your 1080p or 720p source directly into your TV, because I feel like most 4K TVs should do moderately decent 4K upscales at this point, you know, for content that's already HD at least, you know. I actually also briefly played The Messenger as part of my, I saw it mentioned in the chat there, as part of my gathering like modern retro stuff.
Uh-huh. What do you think?
Pretty cool so far. I had not played far into it.
Yeah, I put all the games that I had started recently. I'm not recently, but I'd started and taken off of my backlog, like now playing list. I put everything back on, and I've decided that I'm really going to focus on finishing everything that I've started before I really try to start anything else, except for obviously Last of Us Part 2. We do got to do another. We're gonna do another studio tour.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting because
It's in the plan. Like, I'm pretty happy with where my situation is now, but I kind of want to wait to do it when all of Analog Frontiers is done, because then I think I'll feel fairly confident that...
But I could do mine in 4 years.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, basically mine is done. All I need is, like, touch up some paint. I honestly don't know, like, what else I really want to add. I was able to even incorporate my consumer CRT recently.
Yeah.
Not into my setup, but it's like more over there where I can shoot video off of it.
And the feed that goes into it is from the Extron, right?
Yep.
Well, then that should be fine. That shouldn't interfere with... Because, see, the problem I was having was that was not going through the Extron, which, as far as I know, the Extron should be a termination point for the signal. But I was getting issues from doing that super long run to the Extron.
Right. Well, you were using like 50 ohm cables too, right?
Well, yes, accidentally. I mean, I bought the wrong thing, but still, it's a pretty long run. Like, I mean, honestly, like all those cables,
how,
like
how long a run would you say it is? Because I guess coming on the Extron, I had to put two 25-foot cables together.
Not
maybe 20-foot, I think.
Not that long, no. But the point remains, like, you're just feeding a CRT. Who cares? As long as it doesn't impact other signals, it shouldn't.
Like, oh, yeah, exactly.
But the problem was, I was doing this right out of a PVM, which was actually affecting the quality of the PVM's input. That was the issue. Because the PVM is not a termination point. So what was on the output, being those super long runs, was negatively affecting the quality of what PVM was displaying, which was a big problem for 480p.
Right. They're not 25-foot cables, they're 20-foot. So I have two 20-foot cables connected.
I mean, for connecting to CRTs, I'm not worried about a long run unless you're doing 480p.
Right, but
I mean, like for capture, you don't want to do long runs for capture because...
No. I mean, this is just for shooting off screen.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I don't even have audio run to them because I won't even play on them. They're just for shooting close-ups off of it.
Man, I was having really good runs on the level, and now all of a sudden I'm not.
But I definitely enjoy having. I saw someone saying I'm running them like under the floor for my setup. Missed it. You said you were running it under the floor. I'm running all my stuff like it's goes up above a drop ceiling. It runs along there.
My stuff goes, pretty tidily along the wall.
Yeah, I mean you have all your stuff zip tied, so it's a very tidy looking cable of cables.
Yes.
Let's see.
That wake you up, Sandy.
But just in general, I think that I'm pretty content with everything as it is. I'm not even sure. I feel like now that I got that consumer CRT even out, it doesn't. It looks like I'm playing the game, but no. I guess it's the way I'm sitting. It really is pretty easy up until this last level.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I mean, I don't know if I'd say easy, but... I got really careless on that boss. I'm actually questioning now. Am I misremembering thinking there were 3 forms? There's definitely 3 forms in Ninja Gaiden 3. Maybe there's not in this one. I don't know. Well, I've definitely screwed up not getting to this room with that extra life to spare.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you might as well just kill yourself?
No, I mean, I'm going to try the boss. I mean, why not? But, I mean, I kind of had him...
If you get to the 3rd form, you continue from there, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is... They're...
See, so that's what Jockio turned into, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't even remember if there is a 3rd form now, though. Is there?
No, everyone's saying that there is.
Okay, I thought there was 3 in all of them, but I just couldn't remember for sure.
Oh, you're doing so good there for a little bit.
Yeah.
We got a $5 donation from Blake Romo saying, "Oh, NES class. Oh, classic NES. Yay! Advice for someone about to launch a retro gaming YouTube channel. Plenty of repairs to film, just no idea where to start." I'd say do the stuff that you really want to do first.
And just release videos. Don't worry
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Don't like wait until
Done
they're
is
perfect before you start releasing. Just do it.
Yeah, done is better than perfect.
Yeah. If I die on the first room, I'm just going to get rid of my lives until I have full lives again. There's no reason.
3rd form is actually easier than the first. That's what Dimension, or what? That's what Tori Hanzo the second says. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, done is better than perfect, because it doesn't even matter how perfect something is in a year or 2 years. You're gonna think, why did I make this decision when I made it? Or something. And it's so easy just to get caught up on like little tweaks and this and that, and eventually you just have to decide, I need to move on with my life. I wish you the best of luck. So you think that snake that was just over there, like shooting from the other side of the room, it's like, how did he even get over there? And now that he's over,
Snake?
It's just like this little snake dragon thing shooting.
Oh,
fire.
like the one that's kind of like the bone towers from Castlevania?
Oh yeah, I guess that's what it is. Got a $5 donation from Blake Romo. Thank you. I have a UPS GB. I have UPS GBA build Dreamcast repair. Oh, I see. GBA build Dreamcast repair NES recap. Atari 400 that needs an AV mod and a blank Commodore 64 PCB. I just know nothing about video editing. I guess it just comes down to like just use, one of your built-in editors first. Like if you're on Windows, like use like Windows Movie Maker. Just kind of get a feel for it before you do anything that is. I guess DaVinci Resolve is free. Now I'm not sure exactly.
I was about to go into the boss room in such a good state.
What's that?
I was about to go into the boss room in such a good state, and I got knocked into the pits. I would have had an extra shadow and more magic uses.
Oh, man, the pits.
Yep.
Ain't that the pits?
It is.
We got a $2 donation from Arachi Okada saying, "Do you prefer the Famicom or NES version of Ninja Gaiden 3?"
I mean, Famicom, I would say yes, but I came to respect the NES version after getting to know the Famicom version, because the NES version is still very good. Like, going back to this after getting immersed in the third game last year, like, I'd been saying for years 3 was the best, but like, these 1 and 2, like in terms of level design and enemy placement and everything, very haphazard games. Like, it is shocking to me the poor reputation that 3 has, because like, it is like obvious. Like, if you like put any effort into it, like if you put no effort into it, maybe I could see the argument that it's not as good. But if you put just some effort into the game, just some effort, it's obvious that it is the best game. Like, yes, the story is stupid, but let's not kid ourselves into thinking these are great stories or anything. I know that their presentation was considered a little groundbreaking at the time, but
Blake Romo with $2 again, saying, so don't rush out and pay for Adobe Premiere. I would. I'd mess around with some of the different free options right now. I got a $10 donation from Marcos Gonzalez. Thank you. Saying, do you like so you like Tim Rogers? Yeah, he's like basically my favorite video maker right now. He's a real wordsmith and hilarious. I mean, he's definitely my favorite video person to watch. You're so close.
I know. I don't know why I'm just like throwing it when I'm getting close.
I mean, the Final Fantasy VII Remake video that he did, I mean, I think that I watched it like 3 or 4 separate times, like in pieces over the course of multiple weeks. And I've made about halfway through The Last of Us so far. But you know, I just think it's really fun to just put on and like listen to them, because I always get invested. It's like with his delivery, I get very invested in it, and the way he describes stuff is very funny. And obviously, like, I mean, he notices and thinks about aspects of games that I would never even spend a second thinking about. And then when he talks about it for like 10 or 15 minutes. I mean, if you thought our videos were long, I mean, he's released 2 reviews and they've been over 3 hours each. It's almost funny just to say it out loud.
I looked at his Patreon pitch video, and he was promising hour-long videos. Now he's set this like comically high standard for how long they should be. And you know, I can understand it taking a
like Scoot Diggity says, the guy takes 3 pages to describe putting a slice of cheese on the bread, and it's true, but just in the way that it doesn't have the same kind of effect as like reading it, but like just like in his delivery is what makes it so funny to me. And just like in the words that he uses.
Yeah, man, I have not gotten as invested in his stuff as you have, but like I've definitely grown to appreciate his stuff more.
Yeah, I mean, I think your first experience, I think, with any of his video stuff was that video he did about Luftrausers.
Oh yeah, that was the first time I ever seen him in video form. I don't remember if it was like Kotaku or IGN or whatever site I know he most recently wrote for Kotaku, but like
right.
Like I remember he was doing written stuff like a long time ago. Like I remember reading something that he wrote like when Final Fantasy 13 launched in Japan. And I just remember like reading it and I'm just like, why am I like, I don't know why I'm reading this. Because it was just like it just went on and on and on, and it was strange, but so I would read stuff, but like I was like, I don't know if this is like for me. Your appreciation for him has definitely increased my appreciation, I guess.
Oh, you don't even have any. Oh, you do have.
Yeah, you'll get one ninja fighting the room immediately before him.
I'm watching with bated breath right now.
I don't know why I can't do this. Like, I consistently get right there. I just don't know what my deal is. Like,
maybe save your windmill stars.
You.
So it's like a little bit further down.
I don't think it matters. I don't think he gets. Does he get tougher?
I don't know.
I'm not clear if he's actually getting tougher over the course of the fight.
But I mean, because I remember us like really laughing about the Luftrausers thing because it was so funny.
I don't remember even why I think we watched it because of that. You brought it up because we were making that trailer for Devil's Dare, and you were like, "Well, let's look at what someone else has done."
Well, I had seen it because before that he did an Octodad video.
Oh, okay. I don't think I saw that.
We got a $2 donation from Orachi Okada asking, "Are you fans of Game Center CX?" And I've barely seen any of it, honestly.
I haven't seen much either.
All you need to do is set up your shadows and kneel right underneath his head for the boss.
Yeah, but then the purple there's still a drip that can get you there. That's why you can't just duck there forever.
Feel that drip. Warren Hoke is asking, have you guys seen the Ars Technica series on YouTube called War Stories? And yes. I haven't watched the most recent one, but most recently I've watched the one on Alan Wake. Just because I just really like listening to Sam Lake talk. He just like, I can't not see. It's just like seeing the physical personification of Max Payne talking. You know what I mean? It's like not his voice, obviously, but it's funny. It's funny because I just see Max Payne's in that first game. I mean, he definitely looks like he's constipated in the first game. His face. Did I ever tell you about if I had known it at the time, it's annoying to me that I didn't know it at the time, but my kind of weird connection to Max Payne. Did I ever tell you about that?
No.
So when I first moved to New York, one of my first, I guess, volunteer jobs that I did was working on some reshoots of a movie called Distress. They had to reshoot a couple of segments for it, and I was just like a production assistant. And I remember talking to like one of the lead actors in it, just like while we were standing around. I was just talking to him for a while, and I later found out that his name is James McCaffrey, and he was the voice of Max Payne.
Oh,
I was so annoyed I didn't know that at the time. Or else I would have talked to him about it.
just want to take them. Just don't worry about getting hit. Jeez.
Did you get him?
Yeah. I have no memory of what the next form is like. How do I fight such an enemy?
Is that what he says?
Yeah. How do I fight such an enemy? Well,
Yeah,
maybe you should use the ancient sword of doom.
You use your dragon sword.
Sword of the Dragon Clan.
I prefer Max Payne 1, but I've only played through Max Payne 2 one time. I personally love all three.
Oh, this is...
Like, even though I didn't really like the character design, like what they did with him in the third game, and I think leading up to the release of the third game, I was annoyed that they were going to make him look like that. But in terms of the story of the game, it makes sense.
This seems a little familiar. In a lot of ways, it's not that different from
the first one.
Well,
Yeah.
or from 3. I don't remember what 1's was like, really.
I love in the Game Player's game tape when they were talking about the last boss, and you have to hit its head a bunch of times. Oh, you gotta go back here.
Yes!
I thought you started at the final boss.
No! Haven't you seen me fighting through this level a million times after I already got to the boss room?
Oh no, I mean I know, but I thought once you beat the
No!
second form, you start at the third form.
No. All forms stay dead, but you still have to get back there.
I see. But I mean, all three Max Paynes are very good, I think.
Did Remedy do all of them?
No, they only did the first two. Then Rockstar did the third one. But the third one has a really compared to the first two, it still has the same floatiness, but it also feels so heavy at times, and it works really cool. It just works really well together. Like a heavy floatiness.
Huh.
And you know, the music in the third one is so good. There's this set piece at the very end that's like takes place in the airport, and it's incredible. Like the music just works so well in it. I'm sure, yeah, exactly. Hattori Hanzo says, you know, that the airport stage near the end is just one of those moments where the song just elevates the entire experience.
Oh, that's a
yeah. The third game is really good. I mean, it's just it's kind of depressing after the first two, but I mean, they're all kind of depressing. So I think that's a one-up that falls down.
It is, yeah. I only.
But it doesn't even matter, really.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't really matter. But I never realized that. For some reason, I thought it was a Shadows drop, and I just never really got it because it just didn't seem worth it.
But for anybody who hasn't played Max Payne, I highly recommend. Playing any and all of them. You've only played have you played any of them?
No, I got the Xbox One at Retro World last year, though.
Oh, the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's definitely a product of its time, I guess. But I think just like all of Remedy's stuff, I feel like it really, I don't know. It's just like the writing is very good.
I mean, I really have only played Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Which I loved. I played American Nightmare as well.
I should replay that.
Oh, wow! Star just wrecked that. I can even get...
Preem Stream, I do not have it, believe it or not. I should really have bought it. I know that they're doing a reprint of the...
Oh, that was easy. They gave me a one-up I didn't need. Whew. Okay.
Get 'em.
You know, 2.5 hours for Ninja Gaiden 2. That's not that bad, I don't think. I do think all of them are some of the more difficult NES games for sure. But like the Famicom version of 3 is like actually kind of easy.
Yeah.
But you know, the third one would probably not be that hard, even the NES version. Yeah, it would still be pretty hard if you hadn't really learned it, but man, third one is so good. Is profoundly obvious to me that it is the best one. The first two are flawed, but classic NES games. I do enjoy it.
Got a $2 donation for Love of the Game asking to do an impression of my favorite Max Payne line. Does it have to be from Max Payne? Because I always like "It's pain, it's pain" when they see him. There he is. That's what they'll say a lot. Like, it's pain. There he is. Oh man, just like the side of that entire fortress fell off.
This is an extended collapse here.
Oh, there goes the back of it. Sometimes the bad guys, they see him, they'll be like, "Hey, K-Town saying, "Did Robert make it out of the tower?"
I mean, wasn't he shot? I don't remember if he lives or not.
So does Irene like dies at the beginning of the third one, right? But she's not really dead, right? Irene Lou.
She yeah, something like that. Like there's like an imposter Ryu.
Right.
The cutscenes I mean, there are cool cutscenes in 3, but they aren't in general as cool as the first 2, I feel. But especially like the close-up artwork, I feel on the characters is just not as good.
Wait, in the third one?
Yeah. But
yeah, I always like when you get the profile shot of Ryu and his like hair, it like makes the top of his ninja mask bulge, so it looks like it just like kind of hangs out over his eyes.
But, you know, aside from that, like the third game, I mean, one of my favorite things to say about that game too is that every level looks like it could be the last level. Like it's just like some super epic environment all the time through that whole game.
So this is crazy. I had no idea. So people in the chat are saying that the third game takes place before the second game.
Really? I didn't.
How is
I never caught on.
Where is that established? I mean, where's the information from? Because that seems like a weird thing that they would say. Oh, it takes place before. Is it because, I mean, the ninja shadows don't exist?
Oh man, that's pretty good ending screen there.
Yeah, the sun is extremely large.
How does it feel? Feels pretty good. I mean, not a new accomplishment for me, but I had not done it in a very long time, so I'd only done it once before.
Oh, Tecmo Theater Volume 2. So would that make the first game was Volume 1? Dun, 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 dun. I mean, they always said that Itagaki worked on this, though. Did he? I mean,
I don't know if he worked at Tecmo at this time.
I know, but I thought he always, like, the whole thing was one of the reasons he was given it, because he worked on this. Worked on the original games.
I don't know.
Not the first games, no. Interesting. For some reason,
Is he even doing anything these days?
Wearing leather jackets, probably.
Probably.
I mean, that's
all he does, right?
That is what he does. That's what he's always done.
Oh, he worked on the trilogy, not the NES games. Ew.
Oh, okay. You're like, ew.
Poor decisions were made.
Oh, an interview with Masato Kato established the NES game timeline. I wonder if that's something that would be on Shmupulations or something. The idea is that we will be doing a video on the mode as soon as we can. Three as an interquel is established in the manual in Japan. Interesting. Okay, I had no idea. Oh, okay. So did he loses the sword in this one? So I guess that would make sense.
Which makes Jacchio the final boss of the trilogy.
Yeah.
And of course, it's locked up.
As it should be.
As it should be. That's how games should end. No saving no clear data or unlocking nothing. It should just stop. It should just cease to do anything. That's how.
So do you think you can? How hard would it be to do that thing you had mentioned doing at the end of the stream?
Let me try it. I don't think it would be that hard. Let me see what I can do.
See if it happens. Let it be a surprise.
Yeah, why not? Let's see if I can do. I was considering doing something else for this stream, but
feel like
then I thought, I don't know if that would really hold my interest for the whole stream.
something we could screw on with at the very end.
Yeah, let's see.
Of the stream.
I'm going to have to adjust our webcams, or at least mine.
You could probably get a copy of the Dreamcast version of Xenocrisis from Bitmap Bureau. I'm sure they're selling it.
Okay. So I set up a Steam controller to work as a mouse on this gaming computer.
How does it work?
I set it up just so I don't have to have a mouse and keyboard hooked up to it to just navigate the computer. It works okay for that, but for some reason it doesn't work in the application I'm going to bring up.
Huh.
So, or at least I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. So I'm going to have to move my mouse and keyboard receiver to the other computer. So I won't be able to do anything on the computer I'm actually streaming on until I switch it back. So.
Okay.
And I got my Wii U Pro Controller, which is the most convenient PC game controller for me.
arcade stick preservation. Not something that I've even thought about very much. But I mean, if it came up for the right reasons, maybe.
You should watch the video Dave did restoring the Double Dragon siding to a Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet conversion.
No chicken fingers tonight. No chicken fingers. This might be the first time that anything as a PC game technically has been streamed on our channel.
I don't know if that's true.
I mean, have we ever streamed anything on a PC? I never have. On this channel. I don't think you have.
I don't know. Let's see. I'll just do this.
The next hot sauce challenge. We got little nitros to eat at some point. We still have the last dab also. And the what is it? The devil's toe. Just like a lollipop.
All right, here we go. This should work.
I drink hot sauce like it's water. I don't know. I mean, after last time, I was fine, but I was not fine the next day.
So we were given a Steam code for that 3D NES emulator, which oddly enough is why don't I hear anything? That's weird. I don't know why I don't have sound. I thought I heard sound in the menu.
Like the cloud is just moving back and forth.
Yeah, so it's only compatible with oops. It's only compatible with like a selection of games. I mean, as you can tell by things like how that star rotated and like how the title screen wobbled about, like there are, and like how you can like see down in the pipes, like there are, like people are doing things to the game. Like people, like obviously there's some sort of profile, like the flag waves, like there's some sort of profile that, you know, it has to be built in some fashion. Right. So I'm guessing if you wanted, you could probably just like wholesale replace like the game elements with like more complex 3D models. Like supposedly they're going to release like some free tools to like, you know, that you can like make your own profile for a game.
Mm-hmm. But it controls pretty good.
I definitely feel input lag. I mean, this is not a very powerful computer. I mean, this computer was built like 2012. and I updated the graphics card at some point. So this is not a great computer it's running on. And I'm playing with a wireless controller.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel input lag. I see some stutter, but I'm sure on a better computer it would probably be fine. Well,
I think it uses the ROM at least as a basis.
it does. It does. It does. The ROM is not distributed with it, but it is a paid like $10 app on. Uh, oops.
And you gotta use your own.
You gotta use your own ROMs. Yeah, but I mean, I can understand why it's a paid thing. I mean, people might think that's weird for an emulator, which is definitely unusual, but at the same time, like, it's a novelty. Like, this is not like a serious means of preservation or anything, you know?
But it's unique, you know? It's impressive. It is impressive.
It is. So, like, I can understand why it's like a paid thing.
Sophia, you coming down to visit? Come here. Come here.
But yeah, it's a novelty. Like, I'll use it in Analog Frontiers Part 3 because, like, you know, just is something visually interesting, I guess.
Yeah. So how do you move that camera around?
With the right stick.
Oh, I see.
You can also zoom in and out with the triggers.
Oh. I want you. You think you're gonna be able to beat it?
I'm gonna try.
Try.
I'm not gonna beat it zoomed in like this though.
I don't know. You can do that if you get like a run and stuff. You can
Oh my gosh.
dynamic shots.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
It could be a fun video making tool for sure.
Exactly. I mean, you can use those dynamic shots though in the Analog Frontiers when you talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to talk about this, but just like, well, like there is a part where Bob mentions like that there are cool things you can do on emulation that you could never do on original hardware. Like he mentions the wide NES or NES or whatever. This like, you know, a widescreen hack for NES games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'll probably show this when he says like there's things you could never do, you know. The tough thing in the lag is going to be there. Well, there's a tough jump in both this and 8.2. We'll see if I can manage.
What other games have you tried that it supports?
I tried Mario 3, but like the screen kept dropping out. Like sometimes it would appear fine. Like it seemed to vary by screen. Like the actual signal to my TV would drop, and I didn't understand why. One like super random game that it does support is Shatterhand of all things. Which is awesome, but really random. Okay, here we go. Here it goes. Woo!
Did you make it?
I made it. Like it's definitely jerky on this computer. I mean, again, remember, this is a CPU from like 2012.
Oh, can you like get completely behind your character so you're like running into the screen?
Yeah. I mean, we could play like overhead if we wanted.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh wow, the 1-up actually fell down. That doesn't happen often. Okay, I'm not going to continue like that. I don't know why the sound isn't working. It might be my computer, but I thought I heard sound earlier. Actually, you know what? It's possible now that I think about it. It's possible it's my receiver. Sometimes something will happen where it just doesn't handshake correctly. Has that ever happened to you? Where just like
I've
there's
had weird stuff like that before.
there's no sound and then you just got to reboot the receiver. I see we got $2 from Ben Brody, but you gotta say it like a pirate, me matey.
We got two doubloons.
Oh boy, this is gonna be the hard jump. I did it.
2 gold doubloons from Ben Brode.
Whoa.
So it's saying no signal. Has it come back?
Oh, it should have come back, but there's still no sound. Oh, I guess zone 2 didn't get turned on.
It's coming back.
Sorry, you missed me doing the hard jump.
I thought you already did it. I mean,
I did do it. Oh, I mean, there's a hard jump in 8 too as well. Doing it with a Bluetooth controller and a
Bluetooth
and a chunky emulator. That might be hard considering how lagged behind Corey's feed is.
Yeah.
What's interesting is you can actually see the piranha plant. You can actually see the piranha plant like not coming up. I don't think you can see like the tip of it or anything like in a normal straight on view.
Yeah, we got $2 donation from Ben Brody saying it's $2, but I have to make all the sounds and music.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I'm just like looking for you to do jumps. I can go bow, bow. Sorry, that's about as much as the how invested I am in it.
Well, Ben Brody invested $2 in it, so I feel like I should expect a little more.
Okay, well I'll go back to doing after I if we do this $4.99 from Paul Sutton. It says $5 we got. He's back. He's back. You know who's back? Guess who's back?
Is it Voltar?
He's back. He's back. He's the man behind the soldering iron. I recently Friday the 13th Part 6 was on TV recently. He uses the Alice Cooper song. He's back. He's the man behind the mask. Great song. the man in the soldering iron mask. Yes. Was there ever an elf game? There was an elf game on the Master System, for sure.
A what?
An Elf game.
Oh, Alf. Yeah, I think there are a few of those.
Elf.
See, look, that's interesting. I killed that piranha plant, but you can see like it kind of wants to come back up. So I wonder if that's like there in the code, but you just don't see it from a straight on view.
Yeah. We got a $2 donation from For Love of the Game, who asked the age old question: PS1 or PSX?
I do not like PSX. Like, I used to say it because I thought it was like kind of an official thing, but it's kind of not. I remember there's like a story behind how that. There's a story behind how that uh, how people started adopting that PSX, but I mean, I definitely do not think it should be used nowadays because there is an actual PSX, you know, the PS2
But I mean,
DVR.
I understand, but I will say I do enjoy saying PSX. But for clarity, when I need to make things clear, I will say PS1. But I do like saying, I do like PSX. I do like it. I do like to write it when there's not a lot writing on anything.
Well, I don't like it. I used to use it, but then I was like, why? Why are we using this?
I think it has to do more with my my forum upbringings.
Well, sure. I mean,
like location and places that frequent.
I'm sure the same was in my neck of the forum woods.
Right, all the magazines at the time said PSX, and that's probably where I got it from mostly.
Oh wait, look at the top of the water.
I know, it's weird looking. Are you at the lava?
No, like I'm in the actual water section now.
Oh.
Oh, the blooper looks weird. Oh, the perspective threw me off.
The Xbox can have a million names on purpose. I prefer to call it the XB, the X biggity, the XB joint.
Whew. Am I gonna be able to? Oh no! Oh no! Am I gonna be able to do this with lag and no Fireflower?
Yes. You not do it?
I haven't gone for it yet. Oh! I can't believe I just did that. Whew, that was a risky jump for the ages. Two risky jumps for the ages, really. I wish you could like not just zoom into the center. Like I wish you could like actually zoom into Mario and Peach there, you know?
Right. It's neat, and even the text is extrudes a little bit. Can you pan?
You can't pan.
Are you sure if you? I mean, zoom way out. How far out can you zoom? Is that as far as you can go?
Now let's see. Oh, here we go. Now there are like is a shadow setting, but I turned it off. Like it looks okay here. But like let's see. Like there's some really random stuff available on here.
Yeah, so you got like a light source now.
I saw a video of Mega Man 2. Let's see here. I saw a video of Mega Man 2 that looked neat. That like really showed like sort of the.
That's actually quite a few games are supported, actually.
Yeah. I don't know why the music isn't working. Because, like, I'm definitely hearing sound in the menu. And sound was working earlier. Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of us are playing to get both PS5 and Xbox Series X.
We got a $50 donation from Paul Sutton, who says $50, but Corey has to play and beat Super Mario 3 using this program and zoomed all the way in.
Oh gosh. Well, thanks, Paul.
Maybe some other time. But thank you. Oh, the shadows behind there are like, they look kind of janky.
Yeah, that's why I turned the shadow. I thought in some ways it looked better with shadows off. Oh, and the signal just dropped for some reason. I'm going to turn the shadows off. This looks a little janky. Do the sprites not have like black data? Like is it just a background behind them? It's kind of neat in a way, but it looks weird. I like how the bars that connect the panels extrude though.
Oh yeah.
So Metal Man stage is what I want to see based on a video I saw. Like, look at this. Like, isn't that kind of wild?
I gotta wait to see it.
Oh, look at the E-Tank. The E-Tank looks pretty good.
Oh, see, that's pretty awesome.
Like, isn't it? Like, they're actually, like, the gears are actually round.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive. Even the flickers in there, because there's always like flickering right here.
I did not do very well, though. Should have used that E-Tank. Even though that would have been a waste in a real playthrough.
It's pretty impressive.
I don't remember there being flicker there.
When the spinning things are like when they hit the overscan though, where they would normally be, they stop.
They
spinning.
stop, yeah. Oh, weird. The health pickup looked more like a ring. It's like,
Oh yeah, because it probably like the middle is just the flashing.
oh,
dot.
it was flashing. I see. Huh. Like the background gears are spinning. Do those even move?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they do, but they only like spin between 2 points. Like these, like look like they have more frames in the background. Some of them,
I'm sure they
anyway.
do.
No, but like, oh, and look, there's like an actual like x-axis rotation as well. Like that's pretty crazy. Like that's like uniquely designed to fit into this.
Yeah.
So even though it's like using the ROM, there's like a lot of custom stuff going on, you know?
Yeah. It's it the it's almost so distracting.
But I mean, in a way, the point of this whole thing is to be distracting, right? Like this is throwing me off. This being in 3D because I feel like it should be knocking me off.
Oh, you're standing on something that's spinning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. Consider me impressed.
I do not consider myself a Mega Man 2 expert, so my apologies for dying to Metal Man on normal difficulty. How would it handle All Night Nippon? Good question. I would assume it would probably be slightly broken. Because like those unique sprites that replace the Goombas and stuff. But that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't have it convenient on here though.
Apparently, someone was saying there's a version of this floating around that like you can load any game into it. But it
I
probably
mean,
doesn't work.
so yeah, like it's possible to load. I didn't try it, but I saw a video where it's like it's possible to load another ROM into like the video I saw. I don't remember who did it, but there was a video who said like think of out here on the menu. If I go to the game, like it said think of these as profiles rather than like games. Like so basically like this is the profile for Legacy of the Wizard. And you could load another ROM into that, but it would be broken. I kind of want to look at Legacy of the Wizard because
I'm curious what Canadian Fuzzy is saying. Maybe next week you should show off Super Game Boy on SC to SNES after whatever game you play.
does it have like a full Game Boy emulator in it now or something?
I saw that and I just looked it up and it's like I'm not seeing anything on it. Let me see. Is there supposed to be like a new firmware coming out or something this week? Because that would be super cool. That would be really, really cool if that was the. But I don't feel like it's going to. Okay, so
that's a little screwed up. I love this castle background, so that's why I wanted to see that. But the color screws up when you pass this tree for some reason.
Let's see. An anonymous coder dropped off a modified STD SNES firmware in a few places today, which adds a
it dropped
Super
that
Game Boy
signal.
port to the SD to SNES. The Super Game Boy was a cartridge that allowed you to play Game Boy games on Super Nintendo. It contained the entire Game Boy system inside the cart. You can now load Game Boy ROMs and Black Cart Game Boy Color games on a Super Nintendo using any SD to SNES from the original Day 1 model through to the SD to SNES Pro and current FX Pack Pro. The new core boots the Super Game Boy 2 BIOS, which was a Japanese exclusive timing corrected hardware updates for the Super Game Boy. It played Game Boy at its correct speed. Due to the limitations of the SNES cartridge bus, only GB and Black Label GBC ROMs work. True GBC color games will not work. Interesting. So is this a full thing that is coming, or is this I'm wondering if it's going to be like an official release? And is it buggy or anything like that? Your B button doesn't have any problems with this, though, does it?
The only thing is that my B button is my jump button, but I mapped it that way.
I'm just making sure it does.
See, this is cool that like when you're on the like down below there was like more depth than in like Mario, like to the landscape. But now that I'm up here on these telephone wires or power wires, like it's very thin. You know, as it should be.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool about that firmware. So I think I'll have to see if I can get a hold of that and try it out. Because I mean, the fact that if you could have all like Game Boy games on SD to SNES, I mean that's huge, really.
Oh, look at this! The flasks and beakers are actually, I mean, they're blocky, but
I love that word, beaker.
they're round. Oh, that's funny though. Like when you, so when you jump on top of it, you actually like kind of go into the background a bit. I always like, you know, with the game's normal perspective, I always like to jump on top of the flask and like fall downside and be like, oh no, I really can't get out.
Monster, is this going to be an official release? Do you know? Or does anybody even know who made it yet?
So I was like not really paying attention to what you're saying. So is it a Game Boy emulator that runs on the SC2 SNES FPGA?
It's a core. It loads up the Super Game Boy 2 BIOS.
Wow.
So I mean,
Well, the boss looks cool.
I mean that's very interesting and exciting to me. How about for you?
Maybe, maybe. I mean, it's cool, but like, would I use it? Not likely when I could use the GBA consolizer.
Right. But if you want to play on a CRT,
I'd use a Game Boy EverDrive on a real Super Game Boy 2. But it's cool for people that don't have a Super Game Boy 2.
mm-hmm. There's a lot of Saturn hacks happening.
So before we quit here, let me just pick something like Bubble Bobble. But instead of Bubble Bobble, I'm going to say the ROM is what do I want to use? Let's have Bubble Bobble. Let's do Castlevania. Let's see what happens. Well, nothing obvious. Well, okay. The C is a little messed up on the title screen. Huh? But this screen looks okay. But it's pretty one-dimensional. I wonder if... See, this is very one-dimensional. But it mostly seems okay.
Oh yeah, there's nothing's really protruding.
Right. But if I go to the actual proper Castlevania and then point to the Castlevania ROM, you can see, yeah, the title screen has some depth. Well, that's cool. There's like sort of a ring around the castle. So yeah, so you can see here. Oh wow, that's funny. The castle is just a hole in this scene. Yeah, but there's like custom tweaks to make each game work as it should. You know, I could be crazy, but I feel like this might have less lag and stutter than Mario 1 did. Or maybe it's just that it moves slower. Like the curtains are swaying. That's neat. I mean, it's, you know, it's a novelty.
Yeah. It's impressive. It really is impressive. I forgot about that scene when I was recording footage of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I forgot about that scene when Alucard runs into Maria and Maria mentions Richter, and he's like, "Oh, the Belmont clan," and he like, and this sprite of Trevor comes up like in his mind.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
My favorite part of the new video is the part where you show like Dino Crisis has like this weirdly squished title screen when you're using the mode where it just like gives you the true raw resolution that the game might be using at any point. And then Regina goes, "That's disgusting."
Yeah, well, we think that like that's after that we saw that. I think we're gonna be using.
No one commented on it though, which made me sad. I was dying laughing at that. Like I've only played through Dino Crisis once, so I don't even remember. Was that Dino Crisis 1 or 2?
1.
1. Yeah,
I could see that being a thing, though.
Yeah, like I just love the way she says it. It's just like very like factual. Like there's no like opinion there. There's no like revulsion. She's just like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, she's like, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I do think this plays better than Mario 1 on here. So that's neat. That's a thing.
It's called 3D Sen, right?
Yeah, NES backwards. 3D Sen version 0.8.2.
Yeah, it's available on Steam. You have to provide your own ROMs for it.
I love this artwork. I love it so much that it's my gaming PC background. Look at that. Tell me that's not one of the best arcade advertisements. Like, that lady just looks so happy. Just look how happy she is. She is like way. She's. I don't know if those are her kids or if she's like.
Really funny.
Huh?
Like all of them are funny.
Yeah, I know. Like I like me and Drum have debated. Like, is that those kids' mom or is that their older sister? I kind of think it's their older sister, but he thinks it's their mom.
I don't think that's their mom.
And she thinks she's really proud of her boys for knifing some Russians.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like. I mean, she can't be more than 20.
Yeah, but like if you look at her hands, like her hands look a little older, maybe.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
If that's their dad, like he can't be more than 25.
Okay, I can give you that. But like I just
there is his hands on his. It's like that's my boy. Right? It's like his hand on it. It's like that's it.
It's a great image. I love it. And with that, I have to move my mouse receiver back. It's stuck. Jeez.
Yeah, a boy and his big sister with his friend and her boyfriend. Yes.
The receiver was really stuck. I had it. I put it in the USB extender that came with the Steam controller.
Mm-hmm.
It was really stuck in there.
Yeah. Jonathan G says Kian Ami, and it's like the K in the old Konami logo is so weird.
Yeah, super weird. All right.
I think that's gonna do it.
That'll do it. So
thanks to everybody who hung out and everybody who donated. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. And we will see you next week, and hopefully, Analog Frontiers Part 2 will be pretty imminent by then.
Yes.
Its release will be soon.
And like I'm gonna try to. Hopefully, video on Evercade will be soon. I wouldn't expect it to be like some big flashy thing. It's like something that I guess we agreed to do something on it a long time ago, and it should have been out a while back. But I got caught up with Sharp Scale, so look for that as well.
All right.
All right.
Good night, everyone.